Welcome back to Dr. Dan, where we're going through our player of reviews. Today is going to be Jaeger O'Meara and my player reviews 2025, the season just gone. So this one will be released late because I was at work, didn't get a chance to get this done earlier. So we'll bring up what I thought his expectations were for the season. I had him down for play 20 plus games, being the best 10 players on field more often than not, like be better than more than half, and a big bodied midfielder to help in clearances, given Hayden Young was missing the first part of the season. I was excited when we first got him. As you can see, he's 200 games played, born 23rd of Feb 1994, so during the season or even before it starts, he's going to be 32. So he's at his peak. He'll be on a decline now. We'll go over his stats. And I normally don't really like to go over stats, but this is done in hindsight of what I was trying to do, so it's hard for me to go game by game. At this level, I did watch the mini match the other day of round one against Geelong, where he had 30-something possessions, and he statistically looked like one of our best players. But when the game was on the line in the last quarter, he just had some really bad efforts that the ball went through his leg, and he didn't even turn and chase. The ball's still in the area. He just pedestrian or just ran and fell to the ground. It looked like he didn't want to be a part of the contest. And I'm not just saying everyone was, but I just noticed his especially. And in the highlights in the first three quarters, he wasn't there, but when he featured for the three different highlights in the last, it all resulted in Geelong goals. So we'll get that started then. Let's go over here and have a look at here again. He's 31, 184. Season average 61 on the disposals here, so he was a bit down a bit. He played 14 games for the year, so already we're expecting him to get above 20 and continue his clearance work, which is better to see over at the AFL one. So on the average there, he's getting 3.1, only 2.1. This is because they put him on a wing sometimes. Again, I don't understand why, because he's not quick. I don't know about his work rate as such. And he's more of a handballer than a kicker. And he's been that way since coming to Fremantle. Other than his probably two standout years or three standout years, that's 50-50. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of him. He was a pick one, where, he's getting decent amount of ball, doing good things with it. He's kicked a fair few goals in a season, 16, 11, 16. Never hit double figures again. Had 2 last year. So if we click over here and look at his benchmarking, now let's keep in mind he was one of our most senior players playing last year. If you take out Fife, who didn't really get on the park properly. So he was the most or the second most experienced player we had. And we're looking here that below average, below average, below average, below average, and average. And that's the back off the last season, too, keep in mind, where he played all 22 or 22 out of 23 games. All right? Where below, and then average, below, average, below, and then average. So his first year, don't get me wrong, that was when he come in and took up the slack from when Mundy had just retired. So yeah, I don't know what to make of that. If you look in here, above average, sprinkle in elite. Hasn't really been elite in anything in any of his seasons. If you're looking at I guess these are the base stats for a midfielder. Never been in the top 1 to 10%, except for the 2019 season when it comes to clearances, which that's a lot. That's a good year too, but maybe he played less games in 2021. We'd have to check here. So 18. Maybe, I don't know, but he hasn't really been elite. So, as far as the back on this, if we were to look at it, did he help in clearances? There was a couple of games, I think it was against Carlton when we were getting absolutely slaughtered in the first 2 or 3 quarters to just Paddy Cripps in that. And I think he went in the midfield and he actually made a good difference. Like, that was probably one of the rare occasions where I thought, you know what, he's done a really good job here. Like, where he actually stood up as a leader. I don't know if, like, yeah, honestly, I'm trying not to sound mean or disrespectful, but I just don't know how he is going to be getting a game above some of these other younger players. He's 32. Let's keep that in mind, right? I would rather see a younger person getting around doing his thing. Now, maybe it wasn't this game. 15 disposals, 9 kicks, 6 handballs. Yeah, I thought it was this game. I thought, yeah, there was a game we were getting absolutely slaughtered, and he did step up. It wasn't Hawthorn because he had 16 in there as well. West Coast, he had 15 or 16. So, really, did he meet the expectations or my expectations? No, he did not. Areas to improve. Now, this one's really hard for me because I don't see him getting any better. Do I see him getting a game? Yes, I do. But I don't think, me personally, what he brings, um, yeah, I don't know. I'd rather see a Cooper Simpson or something practice to get out on the wing so we have some speed and dash and someone who's going to kick the ball as opposed to handball it. If Hayden Young is fit, which we're all hoping he will be, why, are we going to keep him in the team as well? Like, when you're rotating through the midfield, you'd probably be better off to have pace players come in when your Bulls, like the Brayshaw, who's tackling and chasing all day, Serong, clearance after clearance, and Hayden Young with that big, strong body, you'd want to be bringing some speed through, like Murphy Reed going in there, Erasmus, who had a really good second half of last year, finally, and Wagner even running through with his, as a restricting midfielder, and hopefully his body can hold up. I personally don't see. Well, look, I could be crazy because I wouldn't be playing Bailey Banfield either, but I don't know about his season. It's mediocre. His season was mid-range. He had a couple of standout games where he got 32s, I think, to start the season. He got 32 in round 2 against Sydney. I know that because that come up as his best game of the season. And round 1 against Geelong, I think he had more ball than any other player from Fremantle as well. So if we click on here, I'm pretty sure that he was our biggest ball getter, 31. So he starts the season strong with 31 and 32. Again, handball merchant, which is fine if he's getting the clearances. He got 6, whereas Caleb Serong, less possessions, more clearances, more metres gained. So, I can't remember too far back in that game or how many goal the scoring contributions he had. Again, I'm looking back and just going on season vibes basically, and that is look, I don't know. He's 32. Would you rather see a 22-year-old play that's going to be, pushing? Yeah, he might have good training standards. So I don't know. I don't know areas to improve. I mean, judging off what I've seen on the highlights and going back over it a fair bit in the past couple of weeks, I just want to see more effort. Like, I don't think he tries. Like, he's always just stuck in that gear. Like, I've just seen so many different instances of when the ball is close and he's just at like a trotting pace or walking. I don't know if he's prepared to get dirty, like really get in there and do the work that you sort of like you want to see. If you're not going to be contributing, with goals or impact in that regard, you want to see at least something go down. It's hard to put on. I could be biased. Let me know if you're still here after this long of me rambling on about O'Meara. Let me know what you think of him. I could be seeing wrong. I just don't feel like if Freo are going to make that jump, that he's in the best 23. I think that the game's gone past him. He come over to give us that experience in the midfield when Mundy went. He was not replacing Mundy, but to get that, at the time, 28, 29-year-old, whatever he was, into the team while the team was young. Brayshaw was, 26 next year? Like, if we look at over on this one, 32. Next season, he's 25, 28, 24, but we'll go down, and Brayshaw is 26 next year. We don't need the experience. They are the experience. Like 200 games, 170. 127 and 127. They are the experience now. There's no need to have someone put in there who's a 200 gamer. Yes, has been in the system for 11 years, but you can't tell me that he's going to be more professional than, and I'm not saying he's less professional than a Caleb Serong or a Andrew Brayshaw, who moulded their off-field preparations from Nat Fyfe, who was, that's one thing he was elite at. So, yeah, areas to improve, honestly, because he's old. There's not much. That's not I'm getting old, but you don't get better. You don't normally get too much better with age. You can maintain it. There's the rare cases that do get better with age. Wine, whiskey, and David Mundy. But that's about it. So, honestly, if I want to see any improvement, I want to see effort at and around the contest, because I've just got so many memories of him just not. And the one game that he made the massive difference for us, it was just the effort. Like, get in there. You stop trying to look pretty. All right? So areas to improve that. His expectations weren't met. Played 20-plus games, being the best 10 on field more often than not. Well, he played 14, and he was pretty much down or under or on average. Let's get this right for the last one. We just get this average 4, where he was, because all of his season was down. let's just have a quick look now on his clearances were just average, 3.1 a game. So he wasn't doing it, except for that one game. I can't even remember what game it was. Expectations for 2026. I mean, I want to be prepared to just say be a good backup option if other midfielders break down. I don't know what Freo's expectations are for him. But I guess, you would say play a full season, keep his body right, which he did. He played above 20 or something 4 seasons before the one just gone, so it felt like as he's gotten old, he's gotten better with his body. He talked about playing his first final, and I don't think he really turned up to it. While I'm on this bandwagon of, unfortunately, what feels like an attack on him, we'll go have a look at how his performance was in the first week of the finals. In his first final, mind you, as a 31-year-old. Let's go have a look, see how he went. Well, he went better than a miss, but at least the miss is played in the final, and that's not how he's going down. Where is O'Meara? O'Meara, he is down. Wow. Okay. 9 disposals, 3 kicks, 6 handballs, 4 tackles, with 82% time on ground. No marks, so no space, 1 clearance. This is from, other than Fife, who came on as a sub, that is our oldest player on the field. Yeah, look, I didn't realise he played that bad. I was at the game, and everyone was overshadowed by the Frederick miss, which was huge, by the way. I don't. He waited his entire career to play that game. And, yeah, we just don't see. I mean, look at that. That's impact there. 9 touches, 3 goals. Different players, but you can still impact the ball with minimum amount. Again, I'm shocked at how bad he played there. That wasn't a surprise. Dudley was looking like he was going to get subbed off, and then he kicked those 2 goals. Fife, he only played bugger all time. Look at that. He should have played longer the way his percentage to ratio is going. Banfield, again, he was missing. These are all the ones that, if you... No, actually, I'm not going to say that because Frederick had a pretty good year. Mick had a bad year, but I still rate him. We'll get to him when we do. Dudley, he needs more of a tank. But these are some of the players. Yeah, he's good defensively, but him. When we go into your bottom 6 players, as you hear on the podcast, the 2-minute warning, you need your bottom 6. You need your bottom liners standing up, and he did. Your worst 6 players in your team. And he didn't perform, and he didn't. Well, he did. Take that back, so he would be the other one. That's the bad games in there. Back on O'Meara, as to why we got here, I'm absolutely shocked at how much time he had on ground for that impact. So there you go. That has it. For me, my expectations is for him to just be solid, not even a good one, solid backup action. Midfield injuries, because honestly, I would rather see the games now getting put into the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, or 21. I want to see Erasmus go through there. I would rather see Johnson go through there. I'd rather see Murphy pinch hit, Bolton pinch hit, Jackson while Darcy's rucking. But for him, yeah, that's not good enough, really. you're one of the senior players. So I'd put his overall season. Would it be harsh if I went between 45 and 55? Would that be harsh? Because to me, like, I mean, I'm going to do it. Just don't know what to do, because 50 is like, yeah, 50 is like the halfway mark to a decent, or to I don't know, ABC's an easier way of doing it. I am going to put it down as this. Now, this could be harsh, but it's what I'm going with. We're going with, you saw it there, 46 out of 100. Fancy Pierce's number. There you have it. As harsh as it is, that's what I feel. I'm happy to hear from what everyone else seems to think. I would love to be able to just show the highlights upon highlights of his efforts. If you want to go and have a quick look at just some of the stuff that was dished up during the season, go watch the mini match, Fremantle versus Geelong in the last quarter. He will feature quite heavily, and you'll see what I'm saying, and that happened a lot this season. I hope you came through to the end. I hope you tell me what you think. Next up, we're going numerical order. If you want to see someone up before, let me know in the comments, and I'll get to them. Like, this is being released on the 2nd of December. I am recording this at 6:41 now on the 2nd of December. So, yeah, let me know who you want to see next. But as of this stage, when I finish work tomorrow, I'll be doing Caleb Serong. I'm really excited to do him in a review way. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.